What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're covering some more r/am I the butthole. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below, but if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too. Yesterday on YouTube, we had two new members. We had Dominique Wild, and we had someone who's going to test me here with Sasakimirai. I hope I did get your name right, and I apologize if I got it wrong. And then on Patreon, we had What Is Up 777. Thank you so much for your support. It really does mean the absolute world right now, and I can't thank you enough for it. And just a huge thank you to everyone for taking the time out of your day to be here, to spend time listening to these videos and getting involved. It really does mean the world to me. And telling me what you're doing whilst you're listening, it's just so inspiring to me. Lots of Thanksgiving based stuff going on yesterday. Someone elbow deep in a turkey. Well done to you. Let's crack on with today's stories. Much love, guys. Although I'm not sure how they sent that message at the same time. Yeah, anyway. Our first story comes from Alarmed Wolverine. Am I the arsehole? I found out my sister is pretending to be my daughter's mother. When my 27 female fiance and I first announced my pregnancy to my family, my sister, 34 female, was a little jealous. I'm assuming it's because she was trying for a baby with her ex-partner, but they broke up because he was a cheat. I gave birth to my daughter 7 months ago. Her name is Kea. Hopefully I got that right. When I returned from work after 12 weeks of maternity leave, my sister offered to babysit Kea once a week, which was incredibly helpful. Not too long ago, one of my close friends who also recently had a child approached me to tell me that my sister is in a mother's group on Facebook, and she's posting photos of Kea, and she's calling my daughter hers, and she's also calling her by a different name. My friend sent me screenshots of my sister's post, and I was completely disturbed, so I spoke to my fiance and we both decided we had to take action immediately. I went over to my sister's and asked her directly about what she was posting on Facebook. She did not deny it and also had no explanation. Therefore I told her she's banned from seeing my daughter. My sister flipped out and I said that I can't take Kea away from her, and then called me a selfish bitch, and she started crying. I've never seen my sister act like this before. It was alarming. I asked her if there's anything else I need to know because she may as well just spill everything. So she showed me a framed photo she has in her bedroom of her and my daughter, and on the frame is written, mother and daughter. I'm not going to lie, I did call her crazy and I left and haven't spoken to her since. Although she continues to try and come over and calls me multiple times a day. My mind is an absolute mess. I don't know where we go from here. Am I the arsehole for how I handled the situation? Well, obviously we can see there's some huge mental issues going on here from where because she hasn't had a baby as yet, I imagine, and you know, her partner was a cheat and that obviously messed her up a bit as well. And I'm not trying to excuse her behaviour, I'm just trying to think why. And I will say, OP is not the arsehole in this situation because they're just trying to protect their little one, obviously. If you was to walk into that scenario and found your child in a framed photo that said mother and daughter with someone else as the mother, that'd send you off the wall, right? But at the same time, they should keep their daughter away from, obviously, the sister at the moment. But at the same time, I hope OP does take a step back and try to help their sister find some help because they clearly need it. But let's have a look at some of the comments to see what they say. Anonymous says, not the arsehole at all. You need to protect your daughter. Your sister needs some serious help. What she is doing is not healthy at all. You could try telling her that she can see your daughter only after she gets into therapy. Latvian Chemist says, not the arsehole, absolutely. Get your kid and yourself away from her. Sounds like she has some deep, unresolved issues that only a specialist can help her with. La Rose says, not the arsehole, but it sounds like your sister has some serious psychological issues and needs professional help ASAP. It will be safer for everyone to keep your daughter away from her, and you may want to install a home security system as well as inform any other caregivers that your sister does not have privileges regarding being around her. This type of thing is a huge red flag for mental health issues. If you can, you may want to encourage her to get help. Detective Girl Kudo says, not the arsehole, get your sister some help. Employ your parents if they're around to help and any other family members. Do not let your sister see your daughter. Your sister needs help. Serious help. This is the sort of thing that evolves into something worse if allowed to fester. How terrifying to find someone else, especially your family, claiming your child for themselves. You did the right thing. Now, what would you do in this situation if, say, one of your siblings did something similar? How would you deal with this? Would you step back and try to help the sister? Would you still let the child be involved? Or would you remove yourself completely from the situation? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 1. And our next story comes from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for publicly emasculating my husband? So let me start off with saying that I, 43 female, had a hysterectomy due to cervical cancer when I was 28 years old. We found out when our son was 6 weeks old that I have to have a hysterectomy. My husband, 47, had let it be known to me multiple times that he really wished that we could have another child. This left me feeling like less of a woman. Now being that I'm 43 years old, I'm very sensitive to being in my 40s. It's very important to me that I am still desirable to my husband to make up for not being able to give him another child. So I make sure that I stay in shape and follow strict beauty routines to preserve my youthful look for him. No heavy alcohol, no smoking, lots of sunblock and moisturiser along with other daily skin routines, exercising and eating healthy, etc. So this was before COVID. Him and I were out with 3 other couples at a charity function cocktail party. We were all having a conversation when one of our friends said something about a 70-year-old guy at the party with a date that looked like she was in her early 20s, which led to an amusing and funny conversation about how some older men chase after the 18 to 20-year-olds. I lightheartedly quipped, "These older men only go after 18 to 20-year-olds because they think those girls are inexperienced and that said girls don't know any better." We all had a good chuckle. My husband then goes into Mr. Know-it-all mode and says, well actually biologically it makes sense that older men go after younger 18-year-olds because their bodies are more fertile and capable of having more children than a woman in her 30s or 40s. Our friends know about my history with cancer and how I can't have children. I felt insulted and embarrassed. It made me feel old, barren, past my prime and undesirable at the comment. It also reminded me of my inability to have children, and to me it sounded like my husband was relating to the old men that lust after fertile 18-year-olds. So I remained poised and collected. Although I was shooting daggers with my eyes at him, I said, I suppose that's the reason why a lot of older women or cougars prefer 18 to 20-year-old men, because those men are more virile and have more stamina than some guy in his 40s who needs Viagra in order to keep it up. Might I add that my husband needs Viagra and has a prescription for it. Well, the car ride home, he said I emasculated him. I'm sure I did, but am I the arsehole for it? Edit, I noticed some comments and I just want to clarify no one knows he was using Viagra. I did not tell them he's on it. Also, he only mentioned wanting more children in a melancholy way, occasionally for about a year after my surgery. Once I told him how him saying it and how I feel about the whole subject in general. He felt sorry and apologised and stopped telling me it. Soon as he started talking about saying like older men go after younger 18-year-olds because their bodies are more fertile, I'd been, no, fuck that, I'm out of there. I wouldn't be listening to that, no way. That's, I don't know if that makes anyone else feel queasy, but that makes me feel really queasy for some reason. And he's definitely the arsehole for that comment in itself, and for the way obviously he made you feel with the whole thing, because obviously you're very sensitive about that and he should know that. I mean, come on, he knows that. But at the same time, you came back with an equally shitty comment, and I know you was just coming back at him, but I'm always someone that says 2 wrongs don't make a right, so I'm going to go with an everyone sucks here. And it's mainly because the relationship just sounds crap. That's all I'm going to say. The relationship just sounds awful. Sort it out. But let's have a look at the comments below to see what they say. Throwaway says not the arsehole. No one knows he uses Viagra, right? So your comment was general, but everyone knew you had cancer and a hysterectomy, so his comment was personal. I mean, clearly your comment was a bit snippy, but considering his comment, it's understandable. I do think you should consider therapy though. You shouldn't be consumed with trying to make yourself desirable to your husband physically if he isn't going to reciprocate verbally and emotionally. Not having a uterus does not make you less of a woman, a wife, or a mother, and there's no guarantee that even without your cancer you'd have had another child. Life happens and your husband needs to roll with it. You are good enough as is. Period. Animbus says, everyone sucks here. Your relationship is built upon insecurity from not having 2 kids. Your husband sounds horrible to have with his views on women and childbearing ages, and he's incredibly wrong. You could have dismissed this statement by using logic against it, but you instead went for a dig. He's your husband, supposed to be one of your best friends, and this ain't it with passive aggressive digs at each other. Fix your communication skills. You shouldn't feel like you have to make up for not being able to have kids. And Prolong the Dream says, sound like you both are resentful towards each other. And Sweeper1985 says not the arsehole, his comments are gross, wrong and hurtful on multiple levels. It speaks to a lack of respect and care for your feelings on a sensitive subject. On top of that, he tried to invoke bad science to justify his gross belief that he's entitled to pursue sex with women half his age, or even less. And when you responded in kind, he had the nerve to act all butthurt about it. Now, I turn it to you guys. How would you deal with this situation? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 2. And our next story is from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for pulling out 10k from our joint account without telling my wife first? I've had a couple of these stories recently, it's getting concerning. I'm male 37, I'm currently dealing with a horrible situation. My dad was admitted to the hospital and is in need of a heart surgery that he should have gotten months ago. He's already dealing with complications and his cardiologist recommended the surgery sooner. Both my wife and I work. We have a joint account that we both use, but she contributes more because she's been saving up to renovate the house. She knows about my dad's condition and we both discussed the possibility of giving my family money to help with the cost of the surgery. She told me I need to do all I can to help my dad. Last week, I was able to pull out 10k from our account and put it into my family's account, and then I told them about it. My wife found out after she contacted the bank the next day, not giving me the chance to tell her myself, as if she was checking to see if I took any money from the account, and she blew up on me when I got home after visiting my family. She called me a thief and a liar, which was a shock for me, and I was really hurt by that, especially when she told me I needed to support my family. She told me that I shouldn't have given my family 10k, saying it's a lot and now she can't renovate the house with the money left in the account. She said that I threw away the hard work to save up the money and kept lashing out on me for the entire day. She's expecting me to return the money, saying she was the one who contributed more and that my family should start thinking of fixing their own problems instead of asking for money. Now, putting myself in this situation, I've got an ill father as well, and if there was some sort of cure that I could pay for to have that done, regardless of the cost, and I had a partner and we had that saved in the joint account, I would absolutely go ahead with it. But I would discuss it first to see if that's a possibility that we can work or at least contribute towards, It would take literally minutes to discuss this. This isn't something you need to sneak behind someone's back and take money out. It just sounds to me like you was sneaking about because you knew the wife was going to disagree with it, so you just went ahead and did it anyway. That's the way it just feels to me anyway. And I'm very sorry that your father is going through this. It must be incredibly hard and all sorts of emotions rushing through your head. I mean, I get the same feelings daily. So I can understand where you're coming from, but it doesn't excuse shitty behavior though, I'm afraid. So you would be the arsehole in this situation and you need to find a way to resolve it before it damages your relationship too. But let's have a look at some of the comments below to see what they say. Value Null says, you're the arsehole. Why didn't you talk to her about it? 10k is a huge amount to spend without talking to your spouse. I'm betting you knew she'd be pissed and did it anyway. Also, supporting your family means being there, not draining your joint account. Why can't your dad take on some debt? Why does it need to be prepaid? Did you discuss your dad paying it back? Have you talked with your wife about the luxuries you personally will go without until you have the money to renovate like she saved for? Dwight Eisenhower says, you're the arsehole. $10,000 is far from chump change. And when your wife said, do what you need to do, she probably didn't think that meant you were taking $10,000 from your savings that's supposed to be for your immediate at-home family, especially with home renovation looming. This is why joint savings accounts require constant communication. She has every right to be pissed, even more so that she didn't find out from you, and didn't find out until the next day. You knew she would be angry. Little Jackass says, you're the arsehole here, man. She contacted the bank the next day and found out before you could tell her. The next day is far too long to wait and ideally would have been telling her before you did it. Your motivations weren't wrong, but your method definitely was. Good luck and good health to your father, and good luck to you making this right with your wife. And Webby Vanderquack says, you're the arsehole, and quotes, my wife found out after she contacted the bank the next day, not giving me a chance to tell her myself. And then says, why didn't you have the chance to raise it with her before withdrawing the money? Now, I turn it to you guys. I know we've had a couple of these stories in the past, but how would you deal with it? Do you think he's in the right this time because he's doing it for a family member who's seriously ill? Let me know in the comments below what you think, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 3. And our next story is from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for telling my husband I was disappointed in him? My birthday was 2 days ago. I, female 27, told my husband, male 32, he could get me whatever he could afford since he didn't have much anyway, and since I've been unemployed for 5 months and taking care of our 4-year-old daughter and just staying at home. Although I made sure, using my own way, to tell him what I wanted, a silver necklace that I saw online and really liked. At some point I actually thought he was going to get it for me, since he looked excited and kept hiding my gift for a few days. Well, he gave me the present, and it was a chocolate box with a card made by him and our daughter. I kept a smile on my face, but my husband noticed I was upset and asked if it was because I didn't like the gift. Since he insisted, I told him yes, and that I was disappointed in him for not getting me what I wanted for my birthday. He felt offended by what I said and walked out. Didn't even want to sit and eat the cake, he just left. He texted me afterwards telling me he was very hurt by what I said and that the word disappointed really got him and made him feel awful. I didn't know what to say, honestly. I just didn't think he'd react like this. He overreacted in my opinion and expected me to apologise after walking out on me on my birthday. You said at the start of this post he doesn't have a lot of money and for him to get whatever he wants for you. But you went ahead and hinted at jewellery, silver jewellery, which I imagine is probably expensive and out of his reach at this moment in time. And you said yourself that he was excited hiding this gift from you, so he was excited to give it to you, box of chocolates or not, and he made a card with your daughter. Oh, why is this one bringing me to tears? I feel so sorry for the husband and the daughter. I'm just picturing their little faces excited to give you this gift, and then you turning your nose up at it. Oh, that is so unappreciative and disgusting of you in my opinion. And your husband probably feels really guilty anyway that he can't afford to get you what you want, and then you're treating him like this and saying you're disappointed in him. I can imagine how much that hurts him, and it's probably scarred him as well. Every birthday that comes up now, he's going to feel this way because of what you said. And there isn't much said about the daughter in this situation either, about how she felt about the situation. And I imagine she was disappointed as well if you was that clearly showing your disgust at this gift. Wow, you're definitely the arsehole in my opinion. But let's have a look at some comments to see what they say. Pristine Treat says, you're the arsehole and you're the one who overreacted, not your husband. He was excited about the gift he got for you and the card he made with your daughter, and you basically took a dump on it. If you want a specific gift, ask for it. Don't say that he can get anything and pretend to be understanding about not being able to spend very much. JCrow123 says you're the arsehole, grow up. He has very little money to spend because he has to take care of 3 people by himself. Get a job and buy one yourself, or stop playing stupid games and just tell people what you want. Soccer Trekkie says you're the arsehole for being unappreciative and apparently forgetting your situation. You clearly stated you guys don't have a lot of money, so why would he blow a bunch of money on jewellery? That just doesn't make sense. Instead, he took time with your daughter to make a nice card and you just stuck up your nose at him, her, and their gift. That's just awful. And what are you teaching your daughter here? Gifts are only good if somebody puts a bunch of money into them. Thought, effort and time don't matter. Your husband probably already feels awful that he isn't able to provide a nicer gift and you just threw what he did do in his face. You really should apologise. Quite says, you're the arsehole for a few reasons. If you're letting him get whatever he can afford, but actually want something specific, you need to tell him that. It's entirely possible he knows you wanted the necklace, but he also knew that the family didn't have a lot of money, so better not spend that much. How can you be disappointed in someone who actually got what you asked for and also made a thoughtful card with your child? You didn't make sure of anything unless you straight up said, I want this silver necklace, and sent him the link. And Angel says you're the arsehole. You can't tell someone something in your own way and then get upset when they aren't fully able to pick up on your cues and read your mind. It's not fair. Relationships are about communication. You know what you did communicate directly though, that he could get whatever, and he did. He did nothing wrong. You should apologise for hurting his feelings. The next time you want something, just say it. Also, I think he's struggling financially. Expecting to shell out on jewellery is selfish, considering it's an unnecessary expense. Now, I turn this one to you guys. What do you think OP should do in this situation? Do you think they was wrong for expecting a necklace given their current situation? Let me know in the comments below and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 4. Now, once again, a huge thank you. I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on my dad as well because it's been a while and some of you guys have been asking questions, so I thought I'd update you right now. So if you're not interested in that sort of stuff, now's the time to turn off. But anyway, basically my dad has been in that hospital the last couple of days. He's having to have his lung drained because he was having some breathing issues. So I've been in that hospital with him. And basically inside one of his lungs, there's little pockets of fluid where the drain, he's always got like a permanent drain in there, but the drain isn't picking it up. So they're having to move it around. There's pockets built up. They explained it a bit like blood clots, but it's not blood clots. But they give him this drug that breaks it down and then they can sort of suck it up. Oh, it sounds awful, I know. And drain the lung and hopefully help him breathe a little bit better again. But he's been in there for he's been in and out of there for 3 days now, having this procedure done, but they have to stop at a certain amount of time because it causes too much pain. And every time he comes out of the hospital in a minute, it's like he's just getting worse and worse. Every time he goes in there, he comes out worse. It's really strange, and his breathing sounds worse at the moment, but we'll have to see how it goes. I went down there yesterday and he was sat in his chair watching TV, and we had a bit of a chat and all that sort of stuff, walked his dog and things. And for the most part, although he's like, it's a constant deterioration from now, he's doing all right. He's chatty. He's a bit more, well, he's much chatty than he was, like, let's say a month ago. So I'm thankful for that. There's a bit more of him in there, although he's lost so much weight. It's unbelievable. I mean, from the start of this, my dad was around 16, 17 stone. I'm not sure what that is in pounds. Sorry, Americans. But he's down to 11 stone now. And I mean, I weigh 12, so he's lighter than me now. And he lives in like a 2-bedroom house, and he physically can't walk upstairs no more. He can sort of hold his own weight, but I have to put my arm under him and sort of lift him up each stair. We've talked about stair lifts and things like that, but he's just not interested anymore. We've turned his house from downstairs to upstairs, so we put like a living room upstairs now, so he can just walk to his bed, and the toilet's up there and stuff like that. So it's all pretty good at the moment. Well, as good as it can be. He's got another face-to-face checkup in a couple of weeks to see how things are progressing, basically, and then we have to go from there. In terms of time, I'm really not sure anymore. A couple of months ago, when my dad was like laying in bed and doing nothing, me and my brothers were talking and stuff, and we couldn't see him last in like a month. And I know that sounds really horrible to say, but I'm very much a realist. And he wasn't eating, he wasn't doing nothing. He was just literally laying in his bed looking up at the ceiling. And he thought, there's no way someone can last like this, But then he has this turnaround and he's talking again, and everything seems normal. Although, with the constant weight loss and things like that, we are talking time. We're talking a matter of time, really. But I also spoke to his palliative care nurse, and I just said, look, please tell me straight. Don't coddle me. I don't need that. I need to be told straight about what I'm expecting, what will happen. And she basically told me that if anything will get him first, it'll be sort of his breathing. Like, the breathing just gets more and more laboured over time, and he will sleep more, and that's how it will happen. That's what she told me anyway, because I was sort of expecting, like, because he's losing so much weight, how much stress that puts on the body, and how long can the body put up with that. And that was what was going through my head. So I have to know these things. I can't just sit there and just wait for something to happen. I need to know this information. And not in a morbid type way, but, as I said, I'm very much a realist. I know what's coming, and I want to know what we should be expecting. But yeah, that's the update on my dad. And whether that's positive or not, I consider it kind of a positive at the minute. Every little bit of positive I can get, I take it at this moment in time. But anyway, thank you for asking as well. It's really, really appreciated. I do tell my dad that you're asking for him, and I say the people on our channel send their love. The Waffle Gang send their love. My dad just looks at me like, what the fuck? But it is really, really appreciated. It's so, get teary again. So wholesome of you to do so. And just the love and the support and everything is absolutely amazing of you. So thank you so, so much for what you do. Keep it coming, because it keeps me going too. And I hope you are having a great day. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love to you. Goodbye.